Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another Death Stranding news update from E3 2018. So we saw some footage, we saw some gameplay, but we didn't get much in the way of information. But there's a couple things that have been sprinkled on the internets here and there, starting with a synopsis of the game. So if you go to the official PlayStation website and go to the Death Stranding listing, you'll find a page that says the following. Besieged by death's tide at every turn, Sam Bridges, or Sam Porter Bridges, as his full name has been revealed to be, according to the trailer, must brave a world utterly transformed by the Death Stranding. So, it turns out Death Stranding isn't just some fancy name, it's not two flowery words combined, it is the name of some kind of phenomenon, according to what this synopsis is saying. Carrying the stranded remnants of the future in his hands, Sam embarks on a journey to reunite the shattered world one step at a time. What is the mystery of the Death Stranding? What will Sam discover on the road ahead? A genre-defining gameplay experience holds these answers and more. Starring Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen, Lea Seydoux, and Lindsay Wagner. So there's a lot here that I'm sure will be worth analyzing once I've taken a closer look at the trailer. But for now, I'll leave it at that. Just something to ponder upon while you guys wait for a more thorough analysis. Moving on, Kojima also took to the PlayStation official blog to talk about his journey towards getting here, and also shared some bits of information about the game proper. So on the top of the blog here, he talks about how everything started, humble beginnings, after he was let go from Konami, how he made the first trailer in like 2.5 months, this and that. So this is a story we have all heard before. So let's skip all the way down to the interesting bit, where he says, when we revealed the first teaser, I said that the game has already begun, a game of unraveling the mysteries of what kind of game Death Stranding will become. There are some answers to the questions I posed 2 years ago hidden in the trailer. These are for you, the fans, who have shown your tremendous ability to imagine, search for clues, and rack your brains to solve the mysteries. But the answers here are still only part of the mystery. Our game is still in play. After that, he proceeds to talk a bit about the gameplay that was shown in the trailer and gives us some information about Sam himself, the main protagonist. He says, for this trailer, we're showing quite a bit of gameplay, although the camera angle is altered in some spots. The first half and the last sequence in particular are most representative of the actual gameplay. There are some answers here too, as well as a chance to discover new mysteries. Some might have already picked up on this, but Sam is unlike any other hero you may have seen in games before. A typical hero is usually some sort of elite or someone with a military background. Sam is not. He is a working man of sorts, a hands-on professional, someone with a skill set akin to a blue-collar worker. This is something you'll intuitively understand once you play the game and control Sam. Herein lies our challenge, to create both a new form of gameplay and a hero that has never been done before. So it looks like Sam is going to be a very different character from someone like, say, Snake, who has a military background and is this elite soldier, legendary entity. Sam's going to be sort of an unknown, just a dude who is doing his job, whatever that may be. From the trailer, his job seems to be to transport stuff, to carry packages from one place to another. What these packages are, where they come from, and what their destination is or are, that's definitely something, that's part of the mystery. He then proceeds to talk about the two heroines, two goddesses he calls them, Lindsay Wagner and Lea Seydoux. He talks about how much he admires both of these actresses. Lindsay Wagner in particular, he just praises her for her role in The $6 Million Man and The Bionic Woman, which is a pretty iconic movie. So one thing he mentions is that out of necessity for his game, they actually recreated Lindsay's younger self from her recent 3D scan data. Now, I don't know what the narrative implications of that are, but if you look in the trailer, there's a picture of her. For some reason, the character we see in the trailer is a younger version of that character. So there's some time stuff going on here. They've already hinted that time and its distortion will be a big aspect of Death Stranding, judging by some of the formulas on Sam's necklace found in the first Death Stranding trailer. From there, Kojima hints that there are members of the cast who have not been revealed. And then there's more talk about how much he admires Matt, followed by mention of his goal to make a game that transcends generations so that people who are into games, as well as film, novels, comics, music, art, whatever, can get into this. He then talks about the music in the trailer made by a band called Silent Poets. And he discovered this band because one of his catering companies, one of the members of the catering company for Kojima Productions, he's a member of this band, and it was just a chance discovery, much like Low Roar, which he discovered in a CD shop when he traveled to Iceland one day. So that's really interesting how he keeps finding sort of smaller, lesser-known musicians to lend their music to this game. The blog post then concludes with, "This game is being woven together through numerous strands and human connections, including strands with you, the fans. The picture that forms on this tapestry is already beautifully drawn in my mind and is right now being woven together with the utmost care. It is sure to form an image unlike any seen before. I hope that the strand with you will be a special one." So that's that for the blog post. And one last thing I'd like to relay is information that we got from the E3 Coliseum event. So there was nothing huge there, but Kojima did talk about how he's getting a lot of input from the actors themselves. He talked about how Sam, the character, has changed quite a bit since his inception due to Norman's own input and his own nuances. And same thing with Matt. Apparently Matt is someone who offers a lot of input, and when something works for Kojima, he just immediately just includes that in the game. And then there was talk from Shinkawa about what was one of his greatest struggles, and apparently it had to do with Sam's outfit because he had to make it look like it was blue collar while making it look unique. At first, apparently, it kind of looked like the skull suit that Raiden wore in Metal Gear Solid 2, but because that didn't feel natural in the game world, that was changed into what we see now. Then there's a bit of mention of gameplay. Kojima talks about how in other games you usually have extraordinary abilities, citing Mario's high jump, for example. But in Death Stranding, Kojima apparently wanted to go in the opposite direction, so make Norman's character trip over stones, or him having to keep balance while walking, and all these different things that make him more vulnerable, getting washed away in the river as we saw in the trailer, stuff like that. So he's not a super extraordinary guy, and that's going to be represented in the gameplay. And it should be interesting to see how this all culminates in the final package, because a lot of the gameplay we still really don't know much about beyond the little hints dropped in the latest trailer. And that's pretty much it. It's still not a lot, but it's better than nothing. There's just still a lot that is unknown about this game, and, I really thought we were going to get that deep dive that Shawn Layden promised, meaning we would understand what this game is by the end of E3 2018, but it looks like we'll have to wait a little longer, maybe till PSX 2018, to get much more details about the game. So yeah, let us know in the comments below what you think about the details that Kojima provided through the PlayStation blog, through the synopsis featured on the main PlayStation website, and through the PlayStation Coliseum interview. Drop your theories below. I'll certainly be making my own when I get back home and have time to really analyze the trailer, and I want to do this right, so I'm not going to rush this analysis. It might take me a couple weeks, or I don't know. Like the previous trailer analysis took me quite a while, but it all culminated in a 1 hour, 20-minute analysis video. So I don't know. We might see something similar. Depends on what I find or what I don't find. Anyway, with that, I will see you guys next time. Young out.